number 12 right fielder Corey Abishon. Batting fifth, the DH, number 15, Caleb Allen. Batting sixth, number 5, third baseman Ben Forbes. Batting seventh, number 22, the first baseman Jacob Pasco. Batting eighth, number 2, second baseman Logan Cormier. And batting ninth, number 3, catcher Colin Lake. And pitching this evening is number 9 for North County, Jaden Downing. The coaches for North County this evening: Coach Greg Pagucci, Assistant Justin Downing, and pitching coach Gary Donia. Milford's coaches: Head coach Steve DeVito, pitching coach Eric Cormier, assisted by Brendan Wynn, Derek Johnson, Steve Matos, and our game day coordinator is Brett Crosby.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're honored tonight to have our special guests, our Special Olympics athletes from the Milford area. For those of you not from Milford, Milford hosts an amazing program for our Special Olympics athletes. Many of the folks that you see on the field have received numerous awards and recognitions for their athletic. This is the first year that we have had our friends join us, and we are honored to have them here. I also want to point out that our Special Olympics athletes program is led by Jen Walsh. If everyone could please give them a round of applause. At this time, we ask everyone to please stand and remove your caps. Marissa Santos will be singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
For our first pitch this evening, we have our Special Olympics friend, Doug Wilski, throwing out the first pitch. Go, Doug. Thank you, Doug. Let's play ball.
Come on, boys, get it. Oh! Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Number 17, shortstop, Joey McGee.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back inside Fino Field as we are happy to bring you coverage of Milford Legion Baseball. Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coed here with you on the call once again as we bring you the second end of a American Legion Baseball doubleheader here this evening. Wrapping up game one just about an hour ago. It was a 2-1 win for North County, and so now the teams reset and do it all again. Our coverage of local sports here on Milford TV, brought to you by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. We're back once again live across all of our Milford TV platforms, locally on our Milford TV educational channel, also our high definition channel for Verizon customers, and streaming worldwide on our YouTube channel. Happy to have all of our live viewers with us and everyone tuning in to this Legion baseball action. It is Milford serving as the visiting team for game number 2. Joey McGee getting the ball game started once again in the leadoff spot for Milford. We'll have everything that you need to know to settle into this game as this first inning progresses. The starting pitcher on the mound for North County is Jaden Downing. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count on Joey McGee. And now a hard hit ball out into right field. That drops down for a base hit. And so McGee on base to get this game started.
Up to bat is number 3, third baseman, Sean McGee.
And so now Sean McGee at the plate. A lot of the lineup similar for these two teams, but again, we'll go through the full starting lineups with you in between innings. Everyone getting an opportunity to get a little bit of rest, maybe a little bit of food and drink in between the two ball games. A pretty fast-paced game one. Only about 90 minutes needed to see North County really shut Milford down. Post 59 scoring a run in the bottom half of the first inning at the time to tie the game at 1. North County scoring 2 runs in the first 2 innings off of Ian Carter, and that was all of the offense through the remainder of the game. Both starting pitchers were outstanding, so we'll see if the good pitching continues here into the nightcap. Sean McGee up there working with a count of no balls and 2 strikes with Keith Lee on deck. Pitch now swung on and missed. Good fastball from Downing. And McGee is out on strikes.
Now up to bat is number 20, catcher Keith Lee.
So now Keith Lee in there. Check over at first base. Not much of a lead for Joey McGee. One ball and no strikes. Lee had a couple of hits in the game earlier today, including the hit that drove in Milford's only run. That was an RBI double in the first inning. But again, credit to Caleb Allen, the starting pitcher for North County, who picked up the victory in a complete game effort. He was really outstanding. Chatted a bit with the North County coaching staff in between games. They've been so pleased with what they've been able to get out of their pitching staff this season. It's a 2-ball, no strike count meanwhile on Lee. And that pitch drops in for a strike. Lee doesn't like the call, takes a little wander outside of the batter's box. It's 2 ball, 1 strike count now. Runner takes off for second base. The throw down is not going to be in time. A steal for Joey McGee to get himself into scoring position. And meanwhile, a 3 ball, 1 strike count on the man at the plate, Keith Lee. Long look in here for Downing. And now that pitch misses low for ball 4.
Coming up to bat is number 2, right fielder Jack Krause.
Jack Krause now at the plate, batting in the cleanup spot for the second game. Right now, some control issues popping up for Downing. That walk to Keith Lee is the first walk we've seen all day. There was not a single walk between these two teams in the first game. Both pitchers with sharp command from start to finish. Now that pitch drops in the dirt, kept out in front by the North County catcher, Colin Lake. Two balls and 1 strike on Krause. He was behind the plate for game 1, now playing an outfield position here in game 2. Now another ball in the dirt. This time the runners take off and each will advance a base. Joey McGee now takes third, Lee down to second base. And so an opportunity presenting itself right away here in the first inning for Milford, and you have to imagine this offense pressing a bit after mustering only a single run in the first game. They'd love to get a couple here early to take some of the pressure off. Runners at second and third, only 1 out in the inning, and a 2 ball, 2 strike count on Krause. The next pitch, that is in for a called strike 3. No argument from Krause. So Downing able to battle back.
Number 8, left fielder Josh Giancola.
And there are now 2 outs in the inning. And that leaves it up to Josh Giancola. First pitch of the at-bat from Downing again is low. It's smothered by Lake. And timeout now is taken as the North County head coach Greg Pacucci will pop out of the dugout. Again, this is not something that we had to see at all in the first game. Sharp pitching from start to finish, but Downing has been living dangerously here in the top of the first. So the mound visit breaks up. It's a 1 ball, no strike count on Giancola. Milford threatening here in the top of the first, again serving as the visiting team for this game. Now that pitch down in the dirt, 2-0 now on Giancola. Three balls and no strikes now on Giancola. And now in the dirt for ball 4. The second walk allowed in the inning. And so this will give Milford a 2-out bases loaded opportunity. As now Ian Carter will come to the plate. Again, deserved a better fate in the first game on the pitcher's mound. Pitched a complete game effort, allowed just 2 runs, but ended up picking up the loss, and now we'll see him offensively here in the second game. We did not see much of Ian Carter at the plate during the high school season. We have not seen much of him at the plate so far during this Legion season. This is just his 3rd at bat of the season. Although he does have hits in each of his 2 previous at-bats. Coach DeVito continuing to try to tweak the lineup, find the right combination, and here Carter will deliver a line drive base hit out into right center field. Joey McGee scores. Here comes Keith Lee around from third base. He will score as well. So Ian Carter inserted into the lineup here in game 2, and he comes through with a big 2-out, 2-run single to give Milford the first lead here in game number 2.
Now batting, number 7, second baseman Eli Sylvia.
So continues to bat 1,000 on the season. Now with his 4th hit in his 4th at bat, and this one bringing in 2 big runs as Milford was in danger of squandering a run scoring chance here in the first. As Downing now will check on Carter at first base. Not sure how much of a threat Carter is to run. Again, has not seen a lot of action on the base paths, used primarily as a starting pitcher for both the high school team and the Legion team. He does not go as the first pitch into Eli Sylvia is a called strike. Ball and 1 strike now. The next pitch from the lefty is in for a called strike 2. Sylvia in the first game went 0 for 3. And the 1-2 pitch will not count as they rule a balk on Jaden Downing. This will allow both base runners to move up, and in the case of Giancola, that will allow him to cross the plate with the 3rd Milford run of the inning. So now a 3-0 lead for post 59. The lone base runner is Ian Carter at second base, and a 1-2 pitch is carved foul. First baseman will race into foul territory, but it's out of his reach. As expected, a larger crowd here for the second game of the doubleheader. Majority of that crowd set up down the right field line. Some North County fans along the third base line and out in the left field bleachers. Another 1-2 pitch and another foul ball. And Milford has made Downing work quite a bit here in the top of the first inning. And Carter walks out to a lead at second base. pitch from Downing is right at the bottom of the strike zone. A shock to Sylvia, who still stands at home plate to discuss it with the home plate umpire, but it will go as a called strike 3 that brings an end to the inning. In the end, Jaden Downing strikes out the side in the first inning, but Milford is able to score 3 times. A 2-run single for Ian Carter. They score a 3rd run on a balk. And so the Scarlet Hawks able to strike first in this game. And again, as promised, we'll keep things here to bring you the full starting lineups for these two teams. We begin with the visitors, which for this game is Milford post 59. You saw the first 7 batters come to the plate in that top of the first, but we'll bring you the full lineup. Joey McGee, the shortstop, leads off. Sean McGee plays 3rd and bats 2nd, with Keith Lee catching and batting 3rd. Jack Krause, the right fielder, bats 4th, with Josh Giancola, the left fielder, batting 5th. Ian Carter is the DH, batting 6th, with Eli Sylvia, the second baseman, batting 7th. Tyler Ballard plays first base and bats 8th, and in the 9th spot is the center fielder, Brad Andriola. And now for the North County starting lineup. Victors in the first game of this doubleheader. Their lineup looks largely the same as game 1. Ty Curtis leads it off once again in center field. Johnny Lacerdo bats 2nd and plays left field, with Sam Curtis, the shortstop, batting 3rd. The right fielder, Corey Aubuchon, bats 4th, with Caleb Allen, the designated hitter in this second game. He bats 5th. Ben Forbes is the 3rd baseman, batting 6th, with Jacob Pascal, the 1st baseman, batting 7th. Logan Cormier inserted into the lineup for game 2. He plays 2nd base and bats 8th. And in the 9th spot is the catcher, Colin Lake. And so for post 59, getting the start here in the second game of the doubleheader is the second half of the Carter brother connection here on the Legion roster. We saw Ian in game 1. We will see Damian Carter here in game number 2. And taking a look at the stats on the season for Damian Carter.
We have a raffle this evening, so just make sure you pick up a pink ticket.
He's gotten light work so far on the season, just 6 innings pitched coming into the game today. Both of those have been starting pitching appearances. He's faced 27 batters so far on the season. He does not have a record. He's allowed 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 8. Carries a 1.17 ERA into the game today and a 1.33 whip. Opposing hitters batting .217 on the season against Damian Carter. And so Damian will face Ty Curtis to get this bottom of the first inning started. Again, Milford serving as the visitors in this game. And the first pitch is a good fastball for strike 1. Carter, the ace of the very good Scarlet Hawks pitching staff during the high school season. Jumping out ahead of Ty Curtis, no balls and 2 strikes. Curtis was the leadoff hitter for North County in the first game as well. And goes down very quickly here on 3 pitches. Did not have a hit in game 1, though he did drive in what ended up being the decisive run in the game on a ground out to first base with the bases loaded in the second inning. It at the time gave North County a 2-1 lead, and that would end up being the extent of the scoring in game 1. Very little offense to speak of in game 1 of the doubleheader. Now here, Johnny Lacerdo sends a ground ball to shortstop. Sure-handed play for Joey McGee, and there are 2 fast outs in the bottom of the first. And now Sam Curtis will dig in.
Now batting shortstop, number 1, Sam Curtis.
The first pitch from Carter is low for ball 1 after throwing nothing but strikes to the first 2 hitters. Sam Curtis in game one ended up going 0 for 3, though he did reach on an error in the 5th inning. Milford committing 3 errors in that first game. Now a hot shot hit to third. It bounces out of the glove of Sean McGee, backed up by younger brother Joey, but no chance to make an out at first base. And I believe that will end up going in the books as a single for Sam Curtis, as Carter had to, I beg your pardon, Sean McGee had to dive to keep that ball on the infield, able to knock it down, but Curtis reaches. The inning continues now for Corey Aubuchon. Runner immediately takes off for second base. Throw down from Keith Lee was a good one, but the ball ended up squirting out of the glove of Joey McGee. It was backed up by Eli Sylvia, tried to catch the runner by surprise, slapping the tag on, but Curtis maintaining contact with the second base bag, so a stolen base. Had McGee squeezed that ball, it would have been a bang-bang play, and meanwhile, it looks like Sam Curtis may have injured himself. Back on his feet, but Coach Pacucci out of the North County dugout to check on his shortstop, who looks to be flexing out the left leg, but coach satisfied that Curtis is good to stay out there on the bases. So he will remain at second base, 2 down in the inning, and a 1-ball, no-strike count on Aubuchon. Corey Aubuchon in game one drove in a run in the first inning to give North County their first lead. Ended up going 1 for 3 overall in that game one victory. A good pitch from Carter. That one in for a strike, evens the count at 1. Coach DeVito, no doubt, being careful with his Milford High School arms after their long playoff run. I'm sure that has something to do with the light innings count for Damian Carter through this first portion of the Legion season. Just 6 innings pitched coming into today's game. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count now on Aubuchon. Carter hoping to end the inning right here. Here's the pitch, and that is in for a called strike 3. 2 Ks in the inning for Damian Carter. Pitches around a 2-out base hit, and after a full inning of play, it is Milford with a 3-0 lead on top of North County on this coverage of American Legion Baseball on Milford TV, presented by Rail Trail.
Winners are Justin, Patrick, and Dougie. Please receive your award at the concession stand. Again, the pink ticket winners, Dougie, Patrick, and Justin.
Partner, huh?
Now batting for Milford, number 12, Tyler Ballard.
Come on, Jake. Come on, bud. Coach, you got one coming in. Time, whoa. Hey, now.
Tyler Ballard to lead off the top of the second inning for Milford, leading this game 3-0. Takes the first pitch for ball one. Our first look at Tyler Ballard. In this doubleheader action. Quick 3-0 count on Ballard, and now taking all the way, takes a strike. And that pitch in for a strike. Jaden Downing with a 3-2 pitch now, and that one's sky high for ball four. So Ballard walks to lead off the inning. Walks have been a problem so far for Downing.
Now batting number 6, center fielder Brad Andriola.
His third walk of the game. The 2 walks he surrendered in the first inning. Both of those runners came around to score. We want to welcome in our audience tuned into the game on our educational and HD channels. We had a little bit of connectivity issues in that area, as now Andriola sends a bunt attempt over to the right side, and he will be safe at first base. Andriola with outstanding speed. He's been struggling mightily with the bat, but drops down a nice bunt there, able to beat the throw to first base. Only one who could make the play was the pitcher. Got rid of the ball as quickly as he could, but just too much speed for Andriola. And so 2 more base runners here for Milford, with Ballard now at second and Andriola at first, and a called strike in to Joey McGee, now up for the second time in as many innings. Singled and scored last inning, also stole a base. And now a hard hit ball out towards left center field. It is the center fielder Curtis who is able to make the catch. Lead runner tags and advances to third. Ballard into third base with a head first slide as the throw came in behind the second base bag. And so runners at the corners here for post 59 now with just 1 out in the inning.
Up to bat is number 3, third baseman Sean McGee.
So a better approach at the plate by far in this game for Milford. And meanwhile, it looks like on a check down to second base, they're going to say that Ballard did not tag up appropriately before advancing to third base, perhaps saying that he took off before Ty Curtis completed that catch. And Coach DeVito irate as he continues to discuss it with the infield umpire. And getting a warning now as he heads back to his third base coach's area. But Coach DeVito extremely frustrated as the second out is recorded. And now a check over to first base, and Andriola just back with a head first slide, so the complexion of this inning changing quite a bit. again, 2 outs in the inning. The lone base runner is at first. And tempers running hot now around the field. As a 1-0 pitch comes in, Andriola takes off for second base. Absolutely no chance to get him. Way too much speed for Brad Andriola. He gets himself into scoring position. It's the second stolen base for Milford in this game 2. One and one now on Sean McGee, who struck out in his first at bat. Takes a strike here and falls behind in the count 1-2. And right now, the Milford fans all over this umpiring crew. Here's a 1-2 pitch. It's hit hard back up the middle, but snagged behind the back by the pitcher Downing. Flips it over to first base, and that is how the inning comes to an end. A slick defensive play for the North County pitcher. And so some things going against Milford in that frame. They cannot add on to the lead. And Coach DeVito still hot as he heads back to the first base dugout. It remains a 3-0 lead for Milford as we move on to the bottom of the second inning next here on Milford TV.
Tonight, so if you're looking for something really good to eat, you better grab a cheeseburger before they're all gone. Milford Legion Baseball would like to thank the Milford Legion boosters, Funeral Sergeant Funeral Home, Milford Nissan, Watson Funeral Home, Area Glass, Murray Law Office, Science Plus, Plains Automotive, Jeans Variety, Paramount Industries, Greater Milford Social Club, Consigli Funeral Home, D&T Donut Shop, Honeydew Donuts. The Milford Legion Baseball supporters, Macmet Spa, Lowell's Restaurant, Hickey's Wine and Spirits, Pins in Milford, Alicante Restaurant and Lounge, Shaw's Supermarket, Craft Roots Brewing, The Gym, and the Boston Red Sox.
Come on, Dave. Come on, man. Come on, 1-3. Come on, he's up. Come on, babe. Go to work. More guys.
I'd like to remind everybody about Thursday's July 4th game. Starts at 11 a.m. We are going to dedicate the game to Framingham coach Paul Bunky Smith, as well as we'll be honoring all veterans who will be our guests that day. Please make sure to wear red, white, and blue for a special raffle that you'll be entered into. We thank you for your support.
If you're just joining us, we're into the bottom half of the second inning, second end of a doubleheader. We've had you covered throughout the day here on Milford TV, Milford and North County. North County serving as the home team here in the second game. And Damian Carter now out for his second inning of work. Gets a check swing foul ball off the bat of Caleb Allen. And again, it bears repeating. The quality pitching performance turned in by Caleb Allen in the first game of this doubleheader, limiting Milford to just 1 run on 6 hits. Went the distance, picked up the victory. Worked quickly and efficiently all game long. Again, a game that got completed in maybe just a hair over 90 minutes. And we've covered some Legion games so far on this season, including Milford's win against Northbridge last week that went nearly 3 hours. And so a credit to both starting pitchers in game 1 for the performances they turned in. Right now, Caleb Allen down in the count 1-2, facing Damian Carter. Carter's 1-2 pitch, and that's in for a called strike 3. And based on the reactions of a lot of these hitters so far today, this is a pretty expansive strike zone.
Now batting number 5.
We've seen some borderline pitches
baseman Ben Forbes.
that have been called strikes, so certainly a pitcher's strike zone through the early innings of this game. 3 Ks now in the early going for Damian Carter. Deals ball 1 inside to Ben Forbes. Forbes in the first game went hitless, but played very well defensively at third base. Really robbed Eli Sylvia of what looked like a sure bunt base hit in the 7th inning that would have put the tying run on. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That is in the dirt. For anyone tuning into the coverage for the first time today, Game 1 is available in its entirety to stream on our YouTube channel. So if you missed the early action, you can check that out after this game is over. Two balls and 1 strike on Ben Forbes. Base is empty with 1 out in the 2nd. The pitch misses low for ball 3. Carter to the set, his 3-1 pitch, and that misses for ball 4. So there is the first walk for Milford pitching all day today. That gives North County a 1-out base runner here in the 2nd, with Jacob Pascal coming to the plate. Pascal was not in the starting lineup in Game 1, but replaced Jaden Downing at first base midway through the game, no doubt. With North County having an eye toward Downing making the pitching performance here in Game 2, trying to get him a little extra rest in between games. Pascal ended up taking 1 at bat after replacing Downing. He struck out. And now takes another borderline pitch for a strike, and Pascal with an exasperated look back towards the home plate umpire, which is becoming a frequent occurrence in this game. Runner starts and stops at first base as that pitch is cued foul to the backstop. Pascal tried to hold up on the swing, but ended up making contact, sending that ball foul, and the count now at 1-2. Milford with the loss earlier today fell back to the 500 mark at 4-4. North County now 8-3 after picking up the win against Milford about an hour and a half ago. 1-2 pitch, and it's golfed foul over towards the North County on deck hitter. Seen a lot of dancing over at first base for Ben Forbes, but so far he has not attempted a steal. He's held on over there by Ballard. Runner holds as the pitch is swung on and missed. And Pascal is down on strikes. 4 strikeouts now for Damian Carter.
Logan Cormier, number 2, second base.
2 down now in the North County 2nd. And we'll get our first look today at Logan Cormier, who was not in the starting lineup for Game 1. Getting the start here in Game 2, playing second base. And hits a hard ground ball back up the middle. It is stabbed on an underhand grab for Joey McGee, and able to stop his momentum in time to tap the second base bag for the force play that ends the inning. And so nothing doing for North County in the 2nd. We've played 2 full now from Fino. And And it is a 3-0 lead for Milford Post 59 on this coverage of American Legion Baseball here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
The Sons of Italy Inc. and Dramatic Sportsman's Club, Wiley and Julian Oil Service, Italian-American War Veterans, Shooting Star Photography, Unibank, Pepperoncinis, Rail Trail Flatbread Company, and Homefield Credit Union.
Two more, guys. Batting for Milford, number 20, Keith Lee.
We thank you once again for joining us on this coverage of Milford Legion Baseball here on Milford TV. It's been a full day of Legion action here on our Milford TV platforms. Again, covering the second end of a doubleheader here between Milford Post 59 and North County Post 129. Milford hoping they can walk away with a split of the twin bill. Keith Lee, meanwhile, leading off this third inning with a hard shot down the left field line, a fair ball. Lee digging for second base. Here comes the throw. It's not going to be in time. A stand-up double for Keith Lee to get this third inning started. So Lee had a double in game one, now doubles here in game two. He has been on base 4 times combined through these 2 games. And immediately in scoring position to get this top of the third inning started. Swing and a miss for Jack Kraus for strike 1 as he digs in for the second time. Struck out looking against Jaden Downing in his first at bat. Downing giving Milford a different look here from the left side in the second game of this doubleheader. The pitch in the dirt, kicks to the backstop, and Lee will jog on to third base. Kraus doing a good job pulling that bat back, not making contact with that ball as it kicked in the dirt. And so another runner at third base for Milford as the catcher hand delivers the baseball back to Downing. Colin Lake behind the plate here for the second game of this doubleheader. Colin was not part of the lineup in game one. Now a 1-1 pitch, again in the dirt, this time kept out in front of the plate with a good block by Lake. Full defensive alignment for North County. It is Colin Lake behind the plate. Ben Forbes at third, Sam Curtis at short, Logan Cormier at second, and Jacob Pascal at first. Left to right in the outfield, Johnny Lasordo, Ty Curtis, and Corey Aubuchon. As Kraus sends a foul ball down the third base line, it goes through the wickets of Coach DeVito, who has had his temper flare already in this game, and now A miscue in the field to boot, so just not a good start to this one for Coach DeVito, but overall a good start for his team. 2-2 pitch now to Kraus, and that one just misses. Lake held on to it for an extra moment, but didn't get the call. Full count now to Kraus. And the bench active for post 59 as Kraus lines one to the backstop over in the direction of his teammates in that first base dugout. Still in good spirits despite that tough luck loss in the first game of the doubleheader. Another 3-2 pitch, and that is in for strike 3. Kraus trying to buy the call as he started his jog down to first base, but gets the bad news. He is the 4th strikeout victim of the night for Jaden Downing. Lee remains at third base with now 1 out in the inning. Josh Giancola at the plate. He takes a look at strike 1. Josh walked and came around to score in the first inning, ended up scoring on a balk charged to Jaden Downing. Seen a lot of balks on this field in the last couple of games that we covered. Milford scored several runs in that win against Northbridge last week on, I believe, 4 balks that were called on one of the Northbridge pitchers. And now Giancola gets into this one, but sends it very foul down the right field line and sends the spectators in lawn chairs scattering for cover in front of the Milford bullpen area. It's the chance he takes, setting up that close to the field of play. But it never deters the fans here at Pheno. Many set up in that spot each and every game. 1-2 pitch now is a bouncer over to the left side. Kind of an awkward play for the shortstop, Sam Curtis, with the infield in tight, but was able to make the play and get the throw to first base in time to retire Giancola for the 2nd out in the inning. Keith Lee remains at third base. And now Ian Carter steps in for the 2nd time. Had a big hit in the first inning to drive in 2 runs. And now very far out in front of that pitch for strike 1. 0-1 pitch, and this is sent in the air out to right field, but plenty of room for Corey Aubuchon, who makes the catch for the out. That will conclude things here in the top of the 3rd inning. Milford strands a runner at third, but they continue to lead the game by a score of 3-0 as we continue our coverage of Milford Legion baseball here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
Bank Foundation,
Damian Carter fires in a pitch that narrowly misses the zone to open up the bottom half of the third. Again, North County, the home team here in this evening action, finishing up second end of a doubleheader. Milford with a 3-0 lead, scoring 3 runs in the first inning. And a 2-1 count now on the number 9 hitter in the North County lineup, Colin Lake, taking his first at bat of the day. Pitch from Damian Carter, and this is hit hard out to left center field. Andriola has to pull up and play it on a bounce, as Lake will reach with a leadoff base hit.
Number 6, Ty Curtis, center field.
With Andriola's speed, you have to imagine there was a temptation there to go into the dive to try to make a very difficult catch, but probably the smart play there for Andriola to play it on the bounce. Now another hard hit ball up the middle. It's snagged by McGee. He taps the second base bag, and the relay on to first is in time for the 6-3 double play. So just like that, the base runner is erased. And they're empty now with 2 down. Ty Curtis hitting into that 6-3 twin killing.
Next batter, number 10, Johnny Lasordo, left field.
Excellent camera work from Patrick Garapi to catch that double play in action. Johnny Lasordo at the plate now with the bases empty and 2 down. First pitch misses. They checked to the infield umpire to see if Lasordo went around on the swing. He did not. And now gets buzzed off the plate with a pitch up and in for ball 2. The 2-0 pitch is tapped foul. Lasordo was the second baseman for North County in the first game, playing in left field for the night game. Lights on now here at Fino. Last bits of daylight fading away off in the distance. Temperature cooling down as well now with the sun almost fully set. But overall, a comfortable day. Very low humidity. Nice early summer feel out here at the ballpark all day long, leading up to the 4th of July in a couple of days. As that pitch is in for a strike, that will fill the count to Lasordo. Carter to the set. Here is the payoff pitch, and it's tapped right back to the mound, handled cleanly by Carter. He'll underhand toss to first base for the out. That retires the side. Carter, with help from the double play, faces just 3 batters in the inning. 3 full in the books now here at Fino. It remains a 3-0 lead for Milford on top of North County on this coverage of Milford Legion Baseball here on Milford TV, presented by Rail Trail.
Generous prizes, and I think that you'll be very happy as a winner. So take your chance.
Eli Sylvia, Tyler Ballard, and Brad Andriola, the three Milford batters expected as we reach the top of the fourth. Jaden Downing back on the hill for North County as this ball is hit high in the air, but not deep out to left field. And Lacerbo, Johnny Lacerdo, able to make the catch. In all kinds of trouble with that last name today for some reason. Johnny Lacerdo taking care of out number one. Sylvia now 0 for 2 in this game 2. And now Tyler Ballard, he walked in his first plate appearance. Coming into today, Ballard hitting at 143, 3 hits in 21 at-bats. That includes a triple, 4 runs scored. He's walked twice on the season. Make it 3 walks after he reached on a base on balls in the second inning, but then ended up getting called out on a tag play at second base. Ballard tagging and advancing to third on a flyout, but apparently left a little bit early. North County picked up on it, and they were able to do a check for the next pitch, and Ballard was called out. He's up there now with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that one drops in for a called strike 3. Another exasperated reaction as Ballard takes with him the 5th strikeout of the game for Jaden Downing. So it's been an interesting outing for Downing. 5 Ks now to go along with 3 walks. Had a couple of wild pitches. Allowed in a run on a balk. Seen a little bit of everything from the North County starter, but he's recorded the first 2 outs quickly here in the fourth, now dealing with the number 9 hitter, Brad Andriola, who jumps ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Brad reached on a bunt base hit in his first at bat. Tall left-hander ready with a 2-0 pitch. Andriola holds up, and it misses for ball 3. Pitch now, and that's on the outside edge for a strike. Andriola, a recent Holliston High School graduate. In his first year on this Legion roster. Now sends a ground ball over to third base, grabbed by Forbes. And the throw to first base gets there in time to retire the speedy Andriola and finish off a 1-2-3 inning on the mound for Jaden Downing. And so we will move right along to the bottom half of inning number 4. It is still Milford 3 and North County nothing on this coverage of American Legion Baseball here on Milford TV, presented by Rail Trail.
Awaiting this moment, we'd like to call the 50-50 winning raffle number.
on, Dave. Yes. Come on, Hannah.
3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Milford. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for North County. As we get started with the bottom of the 4th inning, the fly ball hit fairly deep out into center field, but Andriola is under it to make the catch. Sam Curtis retired on just 1 pitch on this coverage of Milford Legion baseball here on Milford TV, proudly presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Rail Trail just recently unveiling a brand new summer 2024 menu at their Milford and Hudson locations. A lot of good stuff on there, some new flatbreads, some summer cocktails, all kinds of good stuff. You want to head down to their Main Street location right here in Milford. You can check out their Hudson location as well. As always, we appreciate Rail Trail Flatbread Company for being the presenting sponsor for all of our sports coverage here on Milford TV. And again, just a quick reminder to any local businesses or organizations who want to get involved with what we do here on Milford TV. We're happy to bring you on board. We have a lot of sponsorship opportunities for our sports coverage, as well as general station sponsorships as well. You can find out more at milfordtv.net/sponsor-us. As the 0-2 pitch misses a little bit low into Corey Aubuchon, who struck out in his first at bat today. Damian Carter, in his 4th inning of work, drops in a beauty, a called strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Carter. Frustration from Corey Aubuchon as he heads back into the 3rd base dugout. Sounded like some equipment getting thrown to the ground. First 2 batters retired here in the 4th, and now the pitch into Caleb Allen misses inside for ball 1. Allen also a strikeout victim in his first at bat. The count evens at 1. And now a big swing and a miss from Allen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 4th. And the pitch from Carter, that is too low. Right-hander back to the set. Now his 2-2 pitch, and that is swung on and missed. And another outstanding inning for Damian Carter. He strikes out 2 and retires the side in order. We're through 4 innings here at Fino Field. Milford in front of North County by a score of 3-0. Stay tuned to the coverage here on Milford TV, presented by Rail Trail.
Shop Incorporated, and you do donuts.
Two more, guys.
Joey McGee, number 17, shortstop at bat.
Milford staked themselves to a 3-run lead in the top of the first inning. They've not been able to tack on since, but gotten a solid pitching performance from Damian Carter through the first 4. And so we enter into the 5th inning still at a 3-0 score. Joey McGee sends a bounding ball back up the middle, backhanded stab for the second baseman Cormier. He flips it to first, and Joey McGee is out. 4-3 on the grounder. McGee now 1 for 3 in this second game. And now older brother Sean will dig in. Sean hitless through his first 2 at-bats tonight, a strikeout and a ground out. First pitch from Jaden Downing is a called strike. So far tonight, Downing has allowed 3 runs on 4 hits. He has walked 3 and struck out 5. He's retired the last 7 consecutive hitters that he has faced, so he has settled down as the game has gone along. Ahead of Sean McGee, 0-2, and the pitch hit hard back up the middle, past the dive of Cormier, and that ball out into center field, and McGee has himself a 1-out base hit.
Next up, Keith Lee, number 20.
And so a base runner on ahead of Keith Lee. Lee's been on base both times he's come to the plate tonight. He walked and scored in the first, and hit a double down the left field line in the 3rd inning. And all geared up for that first pitch. We couldn't make contact. Might have made some contact with Colin Lake behind the plate with his backswing. And he steps out to check on his fellow battery mate. Good showing of sportsmanship between the 2 fellow catchers, and of course nothing out of the ordinary for Keith Lee, who has just demonstrated the utmost in good sportsmanship across all sports that he has played throughout his high school career. Just a great student athlete in all phases, great kid, great leader. Not the first time that we've talked about it, but it certainly bears repeating with just the quality of play that we have seen on and off the field for Keith Lee. He will certainly be missed across the sports landscape at Milford High School come the fall. Here he tries to loop this ball out into center field, and he does. It drops in for a base hit, and Keith Lee just keeps getting on base. His second hit, his 3rd time on base in the second game.
Number 2.
His 5th time on base overall today. North County's only been able to retire him once. And so now here is Jack Krause batting with runners at first and second base. First baseman playing in on the grass in front of the runner. Krause has done the same thing twice, and a strikeout looking against the lefty Downing. Here he's able to make contact, sends a soft ground ball to shortstop. North County able to catch the middleman Lee on the force play at second base. That's the only out they get. So Krause reaches on the fielder's choice. It's now runners at the corners for Milford with 2 outs in the inning. As Josh Giancola stands in for his third plate appearance. He has walked and grounded out so far tonight. Takes the first pitch outside and low. Blake sliding over into the left side batter's box to keep that ball from going to the backstop. 1-0 on Giancola. 2-0 now. Giancola still looking for his first hit in the 2 games today. Takes that pitch, but hits on the inside part of the plate for a strike.
Would Courtney Ellis please come to the concession stand?
Runner takes off from first. Pitcher ruled a ball. Throw down to second base is not in time. Meanwhile, the pitcher looking for clarification on whether that was a ball or a strike, but the home plate umpire confirming that it was indeed a ball. So the count is now 2-2 on Giancola, now with 2 runners in scoring position. A stolen base for Kraus. Beg your pardon, a 3-ball, 1-strike count. As the scoreboard gotten confused on that last call as well, and the 3-1 pitch misses for ball 4. And Milford will have themselves a bases loaded 2-out opportunity here in this 5th inning. McGee, the runner at third, Kraus at second, Giancola at first, and now Ian Carter at the plate, but first a meeting on the pitcher's mound as the infield converges, and it looks like Coach Pacucci will take the baseball from Jaden Downing. So removed here after 4 2/3 innings. And it looks like he will be replaced. By Ashton Donia, number 13. Very tall right-hander to take over in relief. So we'll take a quick timeout here on the broadcast as Donia makes his warm-up tosses. He will inherit a 2-out bases loaded jam when we come back after this quick timeout. More in the top of the 5th right after this here on Milford TV.
Pins in Milford, Alicante Restaurant and Lounge, Shaw's, Bradford's Brewing, the Gym, and the Boston Red Sox.
So Ashton Donia, the warm-up toss is done. He will face Ian Carter with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. And the first pitch misses high, pops briefly out of the mid of the catcher. Ian Carter 1 for 2 Drove in 2 runs with a single back in the first inning. And now hits this one hard. It explodes on the third baseman, ends up out into left field. Sean McGee crosses the plate. Here comes Krause flying around third base. He will score, and 2 more runs batted in for Ian Carter. He has 4 in the game, and Milford will take a 5-0 lead. So Ian Carter has been a revelation inserted into this lineup here tonight. He's come through with 2 big hits, both of them with 2 outs, to drive in 4 of Milford's 5 runs. And now a chance for Eli Sylvia in the inning. Big swing and a miss on the pitch from Donia. So both of those runs charged to the starting pitcher, Jaden Downing. Can't quite close the book on him yet, as he's still responsible for Josh Giancola, who is now at second base as the lead runner. Oh, 0-2 the count on Sylvia. 0 for 2 in this night game. Swings away at the 0-2 pitch, pops it up. Should be playable right around the second base bag. It's the shortstop who hauls it in for the out that ends the inning. But another big 2-out hit for Ian Carter tacks on to the lead. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning now, with Milford leading North County 5-0 on this coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on Milford TV, presented by Rail Trail.
Vendetti Motors, Jimvinja Foundation, the Sons of Italy Dramatic Sportsman's Club, Wiley and Julian Oil Service, the Italian-American War Veterans, Shooting Star Photography, Unibank, Pepperoncinis, Rail Trail Flatbread Company, and Homefield Credit Union.
Now batting number 5, Ben Forbes.
Damian Carter now with a 5-run lead to work with as he begins the bottom of the 5th. Ben Forbes sending a line drive foul off the right side, out of play. Forbes, Pascal, and Cormier, the 3 batters expected against Carter in the bottom of the 5th. Forbes walked in his only plate appearance so far tonight. Down in the count here, 0-2. The pitch from Carter is a cue shot out towards the mount, fielded by Damian, flips it over to first, and Forbes is retired for out number 1. A lot of action the rest of this week.
Number 20,
scheduled for
Jacob
Milford.
Pascal, first base.
They'll be back in action tomorrow on the road, taking on Maine South at 7 o'clock, and then back here at Pheno on the 4th of July for their annual matchup with Framingham, which begins at 11 o'clock. And again, we mentioned it during the first game, but bears repeating. Prior to the start of that 4th of July game, Milford will honor the memory of the late head coach and manager of Framingham Post 74, Bunky Smith, who passed away earlier this year. I've been covering Legion baseball, Zone 4 baseball for over 10 years, and it was always fun seeing the matchups between Milford and Framingham. Coach Smith, really a larger-than-life character as the head coach of that Post 74 team. Was often fiery. There were a couple of times we saw Coach Smith get himself ejected from games as he got a little bit too animated with the umpires. But just a great baseball guy and someone who devoted a lot of his career to working with high school athletes. Was really a tremendous mentor to players and someone who will be very missed in that Framingham community and beyond. So again, we certainly have fond memories of Coach Smith, and we give our condolences to his family as he passed away earlier this year. Very sad news and a big loss in the Zone 4 community. And so Coach Smith will be honored prior to that 4th of July matchup. Meanwhile, Jacob Pascal at the plate. A 3-ball, 1-strike count. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And watches that pitch miss outside for ball 4. It's the second walk allowed by Damian Carter tonight.
Number 2, second base.
Breaks up a string of 7 consecutive retired by Damian Carter. Logan Cormier at the plate now. First pitch strike. No activity warming up in the bullpen for Milford at the moment. Coach DeVito confident. Damian Carter still has plenty left in the tank. Hard hit ball sent foul, and that may very well be heading out towards the Pheno parking lot. No balls and 2 strikes on Cormier. Grounded into an inning-ending force play back in the 2nd inning. And we'll spray another one foul and out of play. North County winning the first game of this doubleheader in a tight, low-scoring affair, 2-1. Milford now with a 5-0 lead here, getting into the later innings in game 2. As Cormier takes a look at strike 3. That's the 7th strikeout for Damian Carter tonight. 2 down in the inning now as Colin Lake will take his second at bat of the night. 1 for 1 with a base hit. I beg your pardon, a pinch hitter coming up here for North County. As it will be Will Gage, who was the catcher in game 1. He now re-enters the game in a pinch hitting role here in the bottom of the 5th. So Lake with a base hit in his only plate appearance on the night, now lifted for the pinch hitter. Gage in game 1 went 1 for 3 with a base hit. And now a big swing and a miss. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And Jacob Pascal with the lead at first base. Ballard playing behind the runner as this ball is hit hard and foul down the right field side. At the North County first base coach ducking for cover. Getting some extreme close-up action on that ground ball down the right field side, courtesy of Patrick Garapi. Nothing getting past Patrick's camera tonight as that pitch drops in for a called strike 3. And the inning is over. Back-to-back Ks to shut down the bottom of the 5th inning for Damian Carter, who's pitched 5 scoreless innings now in this game tonight. Milford leads it 5-0. On to the 6th we go next on this coverage of Milford Legion Baseball on Milford TV, presented by Rail Trail.
Energy Systems Incorporated, and the Berkshire Bank Foundation Incorporated. Up at bat for Milford, number 12, Tyler Ballard, first base.
Five runs, 6 hits, no errors for Milford. No runs, just 2 hits, and no errors for North County. As we enter the top of the 6th inning, where Milford will send up Tyler Ballard, Brad Andriola, and Joey McGee. Ballard with a little looper back to the pitcher's mound. Ashton Dania out now for his first full inning of relief, able to make the play defensively in the throw over to first.
Next up, number 6.
To retire Tyler Ballard for out number 1.
Center field.
And now here is Andriola, who has reached on a bunt single, stolen a base, and has also grounded out to third. We expect our next coverage of Milford Legion Baseball to come next Tuesday, as Milford will host Shrewsbury Post 397. It's a matchup we love to fit in if we possibly can. 2 great Zone 4 rivals. Shrewsbury came into action today in 4th place position in the zone standings with a 7-3 record. Leominster continues to hold a slight edge in the top spot in the zone over Hudson. Although Hudson has played more games, Leominster is 8-1, Hudson is 10-2. As a 3-2 pitch into Andriola misses high for ball 4, so he will reach on a 1-out walk. So really a 2-horse race for the Zone 4 regular season title between Leominster and Hudson. We'll see if any other teams can close that gap in the next week or so. Really only a little over a week remains, maybe about a week and a half in this Legion Baseball regular season. Milford's final regular season game will be on July 15th when they will make up the road game against Framingham that was suspended last week due to weather. As meanwhile, Andriola is able to steal second base. It's his second steal of the night. The 1-0 count now on Joey McGee, up for the fourth time today. McGee singled to open up the ball game, stole second base, and then came around to score on the two-run single for Ian Carter, the first of two two-run singles that Ian Carter has supplied tonight. Andriola, a big lead now at second base. Cormier trying to hold him close. Big leg kick for Ashton Dania, so a pitcher that can be run on. Long hesitation here for Dania. Now his 2-0 pitch, and it's a little dribbler past the mound, fielded by Cormier, the second baseman. He gets it to first base in time for the second out in the inning. Andriola moves on to third base.
Sean McGee, number 3, third base.
And now here is Sean McGee. He singled his last time up and came around to score. 1 for 3 overall on the night. First pitch drops in for a called strike. Still no activity loosening in the bullpen for Milford, so we will certainly see Damian Carter out for the 6th. And now the pitch in the dirt. Here comes Andriola to the plate, and he will score. As that ball went all the way to the backstop, took Gage a while to get there. No chance to even send a throw in to get Andriola. He crosses the plate, and Milford will now take a 6-0 lead. Bases are empty now with 2 outs. Dania's 1-1 pitch, misses high. Three and one now. Keith Lee on deck. No swing from McGee on that 3-1 offering. It grazes the inside edge, and the count runs full. Dania ready with the payoff pitch, and that misses outside for ball 4. Walks have certainly been a difference
Next at bat, number 20.
in this second game compared to the first. Neither pitching staff issued a single walk in the first game. We've seen now 6 walks combined for North County pitching on the night. And of those 6 walks, 4 of them have come around to score. beg your pardon, 3 have come around to score. On the other side, 2 walks on the night for Damian Carter, but neither have affected the scoreboard. Just 2 walks allowed and 2 hits allowed for Damian Carter on the pitcher's mound. And meanwhile, just another day at the office for Keith Lee as he drives that ball through the left side of the infield for another hit, his 3rd hit tonight, to go along with a walk. And so looking at the last 3 games that we've covered for Milford, in the game against Northbridge last week, Keith Lee reached base 4 times, had 3 hits. In the first game of this doubleheader, went 2 for 3 with a double and a run batted in, and now in this evening matchup, 3 for 3, 3 hits including a double, and also a walk and a run scored. So every time our cameras are out, Keith Lee is filling up the stat sheet. Milford with runners at the corners now, with 2 down in the 6th inning, looking to continue to tack on to the lead. Jack Krause at the plate, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Two balls and 1 strike on Krause. And the next pitch from Donia. And they'll say that Krause went around on the swing. So that will even the count at 2-2. Runner takes off as Krause drives this ball out to left field, but a sliding catch is made. Did he catch it or did he trap it? They will say that he held on. Johnny Lasordo able to make a nice sliding catch out in left field to rob Krause of a hit and bring an end to the top half of the 6th inning. It is now a 6-0 lead for Milford Post 59 on top of North County Post 129. Bottom of the 6th inning when we return next here on Milford TV on this coverage presented by Rail Trail.
Butter's House, Easy Way Car Wash, the Milford Lions Club, Oliva's Market, Carrier and Hellman Incorporated, the Murphy Insurance Agency, Rockland Trust, Bright Agency Jensen Sheehan Insurance, and Blooming Hearts Roastery Cafe. Again, we're featuring their Blooming Hearts cold brew coffee if you have a hankering for some iced coffee tonight.
Milford now with 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors. North County, no runs on just 2 hits with no errors. Plenty of run support for Damian Carter, but he has been razor sharp as now North County tries a bunt on the first pitch of the inning. Ty Curtis trying to catch Milford off guard, pop that bunt in the air. No one able to make the catch, and a nice heads-up play for Jack Kraus to make sure everyone let that ball go foul. So it is Kraus now behind the plate. He takes over defensively for Keith Lee. In this bottom of the 6th inning, Lee remains in the game now at first base. So played the first game of this doubleheader at first. Now returns to that spot with Kraus behind the dish. This ball hit hard back up the middle for Curtis. Sends it out into center for a leadoff base hit. It's the first time all game that North County has put their leadoff man on. And just their 3rd hit overall on the night. Nothing, and 1 the count now on Johnny Lacerdo. See if we can get a glimpse of who Milford has in defensively in right field now. As this ball is hit on the ground towards second base, a little bit of a tricky hop, but Sylvia able to stay with it, flips it over to Lee to get the out at first base. Curtis able to move on safely down to second. And so it looks like it is Tyler Ballard who moves out into right field. So a lot of positions getting swapped around the field. So Ballard, who started the game at first base, is now out in right. Kraus, who started the game in right, is now behind the plate. And Keith Lee, who started the game behind the plate, is now at first base. There's a little bit of musical chairs around the field in these later innings. Lone runner is now at second base for North County with 1 down. Called strike on the inner edge to Sam Curtis. Collected North County's first hit back in the first inning with a single. Also stole a base overall tonight, 1 for 2. And now hits a ground ball over to third. And Milford will get the runner hung up between second and third, and now we'll need a diving play from Eli Sylvia to apply the tag on Ty Curtis. And in the meantime, Sam Curtis ends up at second base. So Milford is able to catch the lead runner. Sam Curtis ends up reaching on a fielder's choice play and winds up at second base with 2 outs in the inning. So in the end, a swap of players at second base now with 2 down. And Corey Aubuchon takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Aubuchon has struck out twice tonight, both times looking. Next pitch from Carter. That's low for ball 2. Walking lead at second base for Sam Curtis. Pitch is in for a strike. Had Aubuchon backing off the plate, but it caught the inner edge. 2-1 pitch, and it's sent foul over in the general direction of the Fino Field concession stand. Really have to give a huge tip of the cap to all of the volunteers helping to run things for 2 games today around the field here at Fino, including the concession stand that was stocked with all kinds of goodies. Freshly made things as well. In the meantime, Damian Carter gets that pitch past the bat of Aubuchon. He strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. That finishes off a scoreless 6th inning for Carter. Milford pitching has been excellent all day long here today. And 1 inning away from earning a split in this doubleheader. Milford leads it 6-0. We'll see the 7th inning get started next here on Milford TV.
I was giving you one. Oh, my fault. Gotcha. Thank you. Hold on. Come on, Quakes. Come on, babe. Say less.
Now pitching for North County, Jonathan Quigley. Number 16. Now batting Josh Jankola, left field, number 8.
A 3rd pitcher now on for North County. It is Jonathan Quigley. He fires in strike 1 to Josh Giancola. 2nd lefty used by North County tonight. Jaden Downing went the first 4 2/3, allowed 5 runs on 6 hits, walked 4, struck out 5. Ashton Donia pitched an inning and a third in relief. He allowed a run on 2 hits and 2 walks. And so now Quigley on for the top of the 7th, with Milford leading this game 6-0. And Quigley uncorking that pitch, completely missing Will Gage. It goes to the backstop. Looks like perhaps might not be Gage behind the plate. Can't quite read the uniform number through the catcher's gear as the 3-2 pitch misses outside for ball 4.
But that is Ian Carter, number 5.
Ian Carter at the plate now. He takes the first pitch high for a ball, and so command has not been sharp for Quigley entering the game. 2-0 now on Carter, who's had the big hits in the game tonight. He is 2 for 3 and has driven in a total of 4 runs, as this ball again will go to the backstop, and Giancola will advance to second base. Carter taking all the way, takes a ball. As of now, the bullpen remains silent for post 59, so perhaps content to let Damian Carter go the distance in this game, as Ian Carter walks 2 walks allowed by Quigley to the first 2 batters he faces, so that brings the overall walk total for North County in the second game up to 8. Quite a contrast from game number 1 of this doubleheader. So runners at first and second for Eli Sylvia. Eli's the only player in the Milford lineup that has not reached base in this game tonight. He has struck out and twice popped out, once to left field and once to the shortstop. 1-1 pitch, able to lay off as that one drops in the dirt. Or will they say that made contact with Sylvia's bat? No, 2 balls and 1 strike to count.
2-2.
Or no, now the umpire gives the count verbally. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes, as now Sylvia lifts a fly ball foul and out of play.
What do you like?
2-2. Next pitch from the lefty is popped up. This one should be playable for the second baseman. Cormier makes the catch for the first out in the 7th. And meanwhile, they call back Tyler Ballard.
Third base.
Sean Burchard will make a pinch hitting appearance. He was in the lineup for the first game of this doubleheader, playing third base. And we'll get an at bat here in the evening contest, replacing Tyler Ballard in the number 8 spot, who had been 0 for 2. And Burchard sends that ball foul and out of play. 1-1 the count on the pinch hitter. Pretty quiet around the ballpark now. The crowd has thinned out considerably from where we were when the game began, as this ball is hit on the ground to the right side. Nice backhanded play for the first baseman to catch the runner at second base. Backhanded stab, got the runner at second base, that's Carter. They cut down the middleman. Giancola safely on to third, with Burchard reaching on the fielder's choice. So runners at the corners now for Milford with 2 outs. And now Brad Andriola. He's been on base a couple of times in this game. A bunt single and a walk. Has 2 stolen bases and a run scored. Looks like Jordan Martirano running for Burchard at first base. And meanwhile, a 4-pitch walk to Andriola.
Now back to the top of the lineup, Joey McGee, number 17.
And so Milford will have the bases loaded here with 2 outs and Joey McGee at the plate. McGee singled all the way back in the first inning. Since then has flown out to center and then twice grounded out to second base. One ball, 1 strike on the Milford shortstop. Next pitch from Quigley has McGee out in front, sends it foul to the backstop. Bases full of Milford runners, 2 outs deep in the top of the 7th. And a 1-2 pitch from Quigley into Joey McGee. That's a bouncer. Ends up coming back out onto the infield grass, but no opportunity for the runners to advance. 2-2 now on McGee. Two pitch, that is in for a called strike 3. So a bit of an adventure in the inning for Jonathan Quigley. Walking 3 batters in the frame, but no damage done on the scoreboard. And so Milford will carry a 6-0 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning, 3 outs away from earning a split in the doubleheader. And Damian Carter out to finish the job. We'll see the bottom of the 7th inning next here on Milford TV.
Now batting number 15, Caleb Allen.
Jordan Martirano, who pinch ran in the top half of this 7th inning, remains in the game defensively in right field. The rest of the defensive alignment remains the same as Damian Carter returns to the mound. Looking to go the distance in this one. He faces Caleb Allen to lead off this bottom of the 7th. One ball, one strike count. That last strike coming much to the chagrin of the the North County coaching staff. Now this ball popped up in foul ground. Keith Lee was under it, but the ball popped out of his glove. And that's going to give Caleb Allen another chance, as Lee could not squeeze out number one. Allen has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging so far in the evening against Damian Carter, and now we'll add a third K as he swings and misses. Strikeout number 9 in the ball game for Damian Carter.
Now batting number 5, Ben Forbes.
And so with one down, here is Ben Forbes, who was walked and grounded out tonight. This North County offense has been held very well in check by Damian Carter all night long. Just 3 hits allowed, a couple of walks. Very few base runners throughout this game. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Milford looking to jump back over the 500 mark if they can pick up the victory here tonight, just 2 outs away. And unfamiliar territory. Usually by this point in the season, Milford finds themselves towards the top of the standings and well over 500, but it's been a different feel to this season so far. Injuries certainly have played a role. A schedule that's had some quirks to it as well, and so Milford will play a lot of games consecutively here as this week goes on, so this next few days will certainly be very telling in how this team can either get themselves back into a good playoff position or continue to sort of toil away around the 500 mark. So no doubt by the time we are back in action with our coverage next Tuesday against Shrewsbury, we'll know a lot more about where this team is heading. It's a 2-2 count now on Forbes. Here's the next pitch, and that just misses. Milford fans still hanging around wanted a strike call. It's a full count now on Forbes, and this pitch will miss low for ball 4. North County will have a base runner here in the 7th. It's the 3rd walk allowed tonight by Carter. And that will bring up Jacob Pascal. Struck out swinging against Carter in the 2nd and worked a walk in the 5th. Swings away at the first pitch and lifts it in the air out to shallow left field. Shortstop out, left fielder in. It's Giancola who takes charge right at the last minute to make the catch. And again, the coaching staff urging communication from the dugout.
Now up is
Milford
number 2, Logan
just
Cormier.
barely avoided disaster there with a potential collision. Instead, Giancola able to make the catch for out number 2. North County down to their last out as Logan Cormier sends a foul ball out of play. Cormier 0 for 2 tonight. Ready with an 0-1 pitch, and it's hit hard on the ground up the middle and just out of the reach of Joey McGee. Took a high bounce there as it went through the infield dirt and out of the reach of the shortstop. And so Cormier reaches with a 2-out base hit. And so the inning will continue now. North County with runners at 1st and 2nd. And an at-bat here for number 20, Riley Young. So that is the answer to who took over behind the plate late in this game. It was indeed Riley Young. Young, the third batter to occupy the number 9 spot in this lineup. Colin Lake started the game behind the plate and in the 9th spot had a base hit, then gave way to Will Gage, who pinch hit in the 5th inning, struck out. And now it is Riley Young with a 2-1 count and a swing and a miss. So Carter 1 strike away now. Maine South with runners leading away from first and second base. And a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. And that is the ball game. So Carter finishes the night with his 10th strikeout and wraps up a complete game shutout effort. So both Carter brothers really shine in this game tonight. Ian Carter, the offensive hero, with 2 hits and 4 runs batted in. And Damian Carter shining on the mound with a complete game shutout with 10 strikeouts, and it all totals up to a 6-0 victory for Post 59. So they do earn a split in the doubleheader here tonight. And with the victory, they will jump back a game over 500 at 5-4 in their Zone 4 season. North County with the loss, they fall to 8-4. And so again, Milford will be back in action with a road game tomorrow, and then they'll be back at home 2 days from now for a 4th of July showdown with Framingham. Our next coverage of Milford Legion baseball will come your way a week from tonight, as we will cover Milford taking on Shrewsbury here at Fino Field. So we hope you will join us for that coverage then. In the meantime, a huge thank you to our Milford TV crew on hand for both ends of this doubleheader tonight. Our director, Chase Pettinelli, and our camera operator, Patrick Garapi. And I'm Tim Coet. That final score, one final time tonight, Milford defeats North County 6-0. This has been a presentation of Milford Legion Baseball here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. So long, everybody.